everybody, welcome back to Taji's World of Books and welcome to a surprisingly amazing reading week. Hey you guys, so first of all, let me say that my light on my Ring camera went out. I'm not sure what's happening with it. It shouldn't, it's new, so it shouldn't have gone out. So I just need to have my husband take a look at it and see what the heck is going on. So I have a little miniature light over here that I'm using. So if the lighting is kind of weird because it's early in the day and the sun is not kind of shining over here, so just excuse the lighting. I'll get it sorted and figured out, but I didn't want to delay anymore. I wanted to get this video up and out to you guys. And so this is a surprisingly amazing reading recommendation that I want to share with you because a couple of these books, one of them came from a book box that I was just really, it was really bizarre. And I was like, I don't know. I've never even heard of this author. Don't know if I'm going to like it. The other was from Book Outlet where I rounded out my order and just grabbed it and thought, maybe it'll be good. And these books turned out to be freaking amazing. And the one book that I thought was going to be good was a total dud. So without further ado, let's just talk about it. Okay, so the first book I want to talk about is a standalone novel by J.T. Geissinger. You know that we interviewed her on Charles Books on Stereo on Sunday, just past Sunday, and we talked about her Queens and Monsters series. It was a great interview. She is hilarious. She is so funny. She's so fun to be around, and she's just a great writer all around. And every book that she writes, honest to God, is a 5-star, maybe a 4.75, but absolutely a 5-star reading for sure. And the one book that I was like, I didn't like, that it was in her Wicked series, and it was the Victoria Price character, and I was like, girl, I was like, that book I wanted to throw across the room, and she was like, that bitch. I was like, I know, I totally. So she got it as well, so it's kind of cool. So anyway, so this particular, she's like, message me after you read it because I want to talk to you about it, and I totally did, and we had a great little conversation around it. And this is Midnight Valentine. It's a standalone novel. It's about, and this is like heart-wrenching. So get your tissues ready, get your tissue box out. You're gonna cry ugly tears with this, I'm telling you, but it's so worth it. It's about a girl named Megan. And Megan was married to a guy named Cass, okay? And she's known Cass since they were like 6 years old. They were high school sweethearts. They are soulmates destined to be together forever and ever and ever and ever. And through a series of tragic events, he dies. This happens early on in the book, and you know right away that she has left Phoenix. She has left their home because she's trying to get a fresh start. It's been 5 years since his passing, and she just is not getting over this and not moving past this at all. And so she decides they purchased an Airbnb together that they had planned on fixing up slowly over time, and they were ultimately then going to move there and run that Airbnb full time. So she decides that she's going to move to Oregon, and she's going to pursue that dream that she had with him because it's a way for her to be close to Cass. And so when she gets to Oregon, she quickly meets this town recluse that's a weird guy, that's strange. She sees him in a diner. She doesn't make the connection that it's him, but she just knows that her first night in town, when she's meeting her realtor, she meets this guy. She orders her food. She sees this guy. He's scowling at her. He's like looking at her with total disdain. She's like, what the hell did I do? And so her realtor and the people that are in the diner are like, that's Theo. He's really amazing, but he's got some issues. And so to make a long story short, Theo has a past. We don't know what that past is. We do know that he was in an accident, and as a result of the accident, he came out not right ever since then. And so the story sort of evolves from there, and that's really all you need to know, right? And it is a mystery. It is a romantic suspense. It is gripping. It is heartbreaking. It is beautiful. It is awe-inspiring. It is everything. This book gives you everything. It's so good that you just want to know what's happening, and before you know it, you're like through this book and like, what just happened? How did we get here? It's amazing. I love the cast of characters, the realtor, the side characters. Like her side characters, JT writes side characters that are like larger than life. They're like side characters. They don't have a main role, but their personalities are so like huge that they really do take over the story in many ways. And so it's just really cool. So I absolutely loved this story. I gave this a overall 5. I gave it an angst of a 4, and I gave it a spice of a 3. Do not sleep on Midnight Valentine. It is definitely worth picking up. Okay, I got hot. Had to take that off. Okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is Fighting to Be Free. This is a book that I mentioned to you earlier that I got on Book Outlet, and I just picked it up just because I was like $5 away from free shipping, so I was like, why not? I grabbed it. Had no hopes for this. Didn't think that this was going to be any good, and this story packed a punch. It is so damn good. It's a new adult, so it reads a little bit young because the characters in here are definitely still like 18 and 21. But this is like, the story basically is a colliding, if you will, of Fast and Furious meets Mafia meets crime lord drug syndicate type situations. It's amazing. So Jamie Cole, the story starts with him getting out of juvie. He literally is getting out of juvie. He's being discharged into like a halfway house or halfway house living. He's been in juvie for serving 4 years, and we find out that it's for murder, but we don't really know what the story is behind that. So when he comes out of juvie, he's determined to change. He's determined to make a different life for himself, and he's like forging through, and he's going to figure it out. But the only thing that Jamie is good at is boosting cars. He knows cars in and out. He knows how to fix cars. He knows how to steal cars, and he doesn't only know how to steal cars. He's stealing Aston Martins. He's stealing Bugatti Veyrons. He's stealing Ferraris. He's stealing like high-end cars, and that's part of this crime syndicate that he works for. And as soon as he gets out, they try to suck him right on back in, and he's like, you know what, I need to go straight. I can't do this, but I'll tell you what, I'll do one more job, 25 cars, you pay me $5 grand, that's some seed money, can get him started. And he does that. Lo and behold, he meets one night at the club when he's talking to one of his associates. He's at a club, he meets this girl, he sees this redhead chick, and he's like, man, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, like, I gotta like get to know her. And so he has a conversation with her, and they get to know each other, and they have a one-night stand. And she just has broken up with her boyfriend, who is very controlling, very rude, very disrespectful, and so she doesn't want to be controlled by anybody. She just wants to have a moment of freedom and peace, because she's been in this relationship for like 4 years. She's like, I just need peace. Like, I don't need no dude trying to tell me what to do. I just want to do my thing. So Jamie like really likes her, and she likes him, but she's like, you know, I've never done a one-night stand before, but I think it's like, you're not going to get my number. We're going to kind of, just go our separate ways. Well, she leaves her phone in his car, and so her best friend, there's always the cheeky best friend. The cheeky best friend is like, calls her number, he answers, she sets up a date. And so to make a long story short, it's them trying to figure out their lives together and trying to figure out if they can make it work and can have a relationship. Jamie's got some secrets. Jamie hasn't told her about his crime past. He hasn't told her about the murder that he was in juvie. He doesn't know any of this. So, and then Ellie, she has an ex-boyfriend who is controlling, and he is hell-bent on damaging this relationship come hell or high water. So he's going to reveal secrets. He's going to get all up in the mix and try and cause problems and drama, and he does that. But are they going to survive this, and how does it all work out? And it is so good. And overall I gave it a 4.75. And the only reason why I didn't give it a 5 is because it read just a tiny bit young. But it needs to read young because she still lives at home with her parents. So she's still in high school, even though she's getting ready to embark on her senior year. So it does need to read like that, but just for that reason I gave it a 4.75. Angst-wise, 5. And especially this book ends on a cliffhanger. You don't want to end on this book. You need to pick up the next book immediately, because you're going to be like, what the hell just happened? How did we get here? And it really packs a punch, and it's surprising. And spice-wise, because again, it's young, and I don't want to be reading crazy stuff with young people, so I gave it a 2, but it's okay because that's what it needed to be. And so it's like, is this relationship going to survive? Can they make it? And to what ends? And who's going to get hurt? And what does that look like? Okay, so then the next book is worth fighting for. This is the sequel, the follow-up. This is a duet, and it's the conclusion of this heartbreaking story. And again, this is a balance of Fast and Furious meets Mafia meets crime lord, drug syndicate. You're getting involved with like Mexican cartels, and can you give up the life that you've always known for the person that you love, and what does that even look like? And this is also a love triangle, and it is so, so good. It's so good. You're in it for every moment, and you don't know which direction. You're like, do I want this one to go? Do I want that one to happen? I don't know. Who deserves what? And it's really, really good. There's death and dying. There's heartbreaking situations that happen. And then there's a mystery and a suspense, and when it all reveals itself, you're like, no, you didn't. What? Oh my gosh, it's so, so good. So again, I gave this a 4. Overall, I gave it a 4. Angst-wise, I gave it a 4. And spice-wise, I gave it a 3. Really good. The next book that I read was The 7 Deaths of Hardcastle, of Evelyn Hardcastle. And I read maybe 10, 12 chapters in, something like that. I hated it, didn't understand it, didn't know what was going on. I was like, I got too much to read. I can't be bothered with it. It's not for me. I DNF'd it. Didn't like it. Okay, so then the next story that I read was a book that I got in Book Outlet's book box. Not Book Outlet. In Romance Revealed or Reveal Romance, or one of the book boxes that I got. And this is called Love's Forbidden Flower. And oh my God, was this good. Was this good? It was out freaking standing. This is a taboo romance. It is about 2 young people trying to figure it out. It is about a brother and a sister. And this packs a punch. This is Lily, Donovan, and Christopher. It's also a love triangle. I don't want to tell you too much about this because it's a suspense. And it's not an erotica. There's none of that, right? So spice-wise, like there was like very little, no spice in this. But it's really angsty. It's a 5 angst and it's a 5 overall. And this story is so compelling and so riveting. It's been a long time. I read a lot of books, okay? It's been a long time since I read a book that I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about that book and can't wait to get to the next story to hear what's going to happen. And when I read the next book in the series, I was just like, oh my God, I need more from this author. It was outstanding. And like I said, I don't want to tell you too much. There's secrets, there's lies, there's deception. Read it all the way through. If you are the type of person that you hear it's taboo, I'm brother, sister, read it all the way through. Read it all the way through and tell me what you think after. Read both books all the way through and tell me what you think, because this is outstanding. And like I said, I don't want to tell you too much because it's going to spoil, and I don't want to spoil anything for you. I just want you to read it. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, that's that. Then the next book in the series, and I went ahead and read it on my Kindle because I was only going to order the one because I'm stopping doing like ordering all these books and then getting into them and don't like them. So I didn't buy the second book, and then when I read the first, I was like, I need to have it. So by the time I got to reading the second book, I was on my Kindle and the book has not come yet, but I'll put it over here. It's called Time's Forbidden Flower, and the story picks up exactly where it left off on book 1. There's lots of anxiety, lots of pain, lots of twists, lots of turns, lots of secrets revealed. It's just amazing, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, gorgeous. You just are like, oh my gosh, I'm in it to win it. I'm in it for everybody, for all of these characters, and you're trying to figure it out. And the revelations and how these characters really come to try to resolve everything that's going on and how they try to come to a compromise, this brother and sister and all of the other people that are involved. It's just, and it spans decades. It's so good. Please do not sleep on it. So overall, I gave Time's Forbidden Flower a 5. I gave it an angst of a 5, and I gave it a spice of a 1. So don't sleep on it. You will absolutely. This is, like I said, a new author to me. It's Diane Rinella. She's new to me, and I love her. She hasn't written a lot, but she's written enough. I'm definitely going to go check out some other things that she's done. Okay, so you guys, that is all that I have for today. I don't know if I'm going to call this hits and misses. I don't know. I'm going to call this like surprisingly amazing reads. That's what I'm going to call it. Surprisingly amazing reads. I just wasn't expecting these reads to be as good as they were, but they delivered in so many ways. And so I hope that you enjoy them as much as I have. So please do me a favor and like this video because it really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel. It always helps me because I really appreciate that. And come back and join me again. I try to upload videos at least 3 times a week. And if you hit that bell notification button, it'll let you know when I upload a new video. And so that's all that I have for today. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!